Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Hansen, and this is my IS 515 project. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. So for this project, I've pulled from multiple different databases that I've used in the past, as well as kind of manipulated it to make my own. So this one, the first one that I want to show is conditional formatting. As you can see, I've chosen 8 different brands. As I mentioned, I kind of made up these numbers, but the brands are Vans, New Balance, Under Armour, Oakley, Built, Ruka, Nike, and Lululemon. Now, this is specifically targeted towards either financial analysts or marketers. They kind of track how their brand is doing every month as well as throughout the year. So the first thing I want to do with conditional formatting is it's super easy to come in here and see what is their best month of the year, right? We'll consider these numbers their sales, maybe in millions or billions, however you wanna look at it. So you can come in and you can look at it through monthly sales to see how they're doing. For this particular project, I wanted to look at them as a whole. And look at all of these 8 companies combined and see who's doing the best. As we can see, New Balance, Under Armour, Nike, and Lululemon are doing the best, and we can see this super easily with conditional formatting. Moving on, we are going to charts. As I mentioned, New Balance, Lululemon, Nike, and Under Armour are the best ones or perform the best throughout the year. But if we want to use a chart to be able to track this as well, it's super easy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to highlight everything. As we can see, we have these 4 numbers, 4 brands, and all the months of the year. As I mentioned, I kind of made up these numbers, but let's get away, or let's go on with it. So I want to create a 2D line chart. As we can see, this is kind of hard to read, so I'm going to filter some things right here. First thing I'm going to do is come over here and mess with, let me click on this right here, mess with the size. So as you can see, the minimum right now is 0 and the maximum is 40. We don't have anybody below 15, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna lower this down to 35, just so that this zooms in and we can make it a little bit bigger, right? As we can see throughout the year, everybody kind of goes up and down, but by the end of the year, Nike was the one who performed the best. We can see that in the later parts of the year, October, November, December, people kind of start to shoot up, and that's pretty typical with brands and with products because Christmas time, right? So I love to be able to use these different charts. We can sales throughout the year. We can name this, right? Throughout the year. So using these charts just makes it super easy to be able to track. Lastly, I want to jump into a pivot table. I came up with these numbers from that same data set, and we're going to focus mainly on Nike. So right here on the pivot table, if we come over here, click right here, we got date, region, unit, and sales. So the main thing that I want to filter for, that I want to see is the main regions where each region of these salesmen for Nike sold. Now, if we come here and put it in values, we can see that West was the people who sold the most. They sold 8,873, right? North was super close. If we come and we switch this out and we do units sold as well, we can see that West was the one who had the most units sold. So it kind of directly correlates. Whoever sold the most ended up having the most amount of sales. Now, great thing about pivot charts is we can come over here and we can filter this value field settings, and we can either do the sum, we can do how many sales they made. So West was greater than North. East was the lowest, so obviously they had the lowest amount of sales. We can also change this to the average, 56 for the month, right? And there's many things that we can do with pivot charts, or pivot tables, excuse me. So this is my IS 515 project, and I'm super grateful that I was able to do it. Thank you.